On Plus TV News now. Bandits attack another Gidam station on Abuja-Kaduna rail line. President Muhammadu Buhari, and this is the news now. Bandits launched yet another attack on Gidam station on the Abuja-Kaduna rail line this Tuesday afternoon. The attack occurred shortly after the entourage of the Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, passed through on their way to Rijana. That was where they could conduct an inspection to determine the extent of damage caused by the attack that occurred on Monday night. According to reports, a police car was set on fire while NRC personnel stationed in the area fled. Security personnel were, however, able to bring the situation under control. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the immediate conclusion of all the processes for the implementation of the integrated security surveillance and monitoring solution for the Abuja to Kaduna railway line. He also directed the Nigerian Railway Corporation management to speedily repair the damaged lines and resume normal service without delay. The integrated security surveillance and monitoring solution would also be extended to the Lagos to Ibadan railway line. Malam Garba Shehu, the president's spokesman, in a statement said that Buhari gave these directives. It was after receiving briefs from the service chiefs, which led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, on Tuesday in the presidential villa, Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari met with service chiefs on Tuesday to address Monday night's attack on a Kaduna surveillance and monetary solution for the Abuja-Kaduna train route be completed immediately. Additionally, he said that the security infrastructure should be expanded to include the Lagos-Ibadan trail line. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, on Tuesday visited the scene of the Kaduna-Abuja trail attack. He ordered troops to intensify search and rescue operations as well as hunt down the terrorists. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, said this in a statement on Tuesday in Abuja. Nwachukwu said the COAS has assessed the security situation around the general area of the attack and inspected the attack train, as well as the rail track, to evaluate the degree of damage. He said Yahaya was accompanied by some principal staff officers of the Army headquarters and the general officer commanding 1 division. The Senate has called on the Army and Air Force to, as a matter of urgency, bombard terrorist enclaves with a view to restoring peace and stability in the country. The senators called on President Muhammadu Buhari to declare full-scale war against terrorists so as to secure Nigeria's territory. These formed part of resolutions reached following a motion sponsored by Senator Obasani. He drew the attention of the Senate to the bandits' attack on a Kaduna-bound train and in some other parts of the state. He bemoaned the attack on a Kaduna-bound train carrying over 970
economies of our local communities. It is disheartening that these enemies of the people are getting emboldened by the day. They are becoming more brazen. These blood-curdling bonfires have no regard for human life. They have no place in civilized society.
A cross-section of lawmakers who lamented that Kaduna had become the new theater.
Time for Nigeria to declare war against these terrorists. Mr. President, we shouldn't allow this situation to continue, where we lay back, they come to attack, then we repel, we try to do damage control and the like. I think it is time for these terrorists to be seriously taken as a national security threat.
Mr. President, since we're inaugurated here, discussions on the security of our country has taken a large chunk of our discussion here. And I believe and feel that it is time enough for the appropriate authorities to have taken decisive actions to address the security in our country.
In Kaduna in person, Kaduna town and Kaduna state as a whole, No day they don't kill over 300 in a day. Every blessed day. No day that they don't kill souls more than 300.
The Senate accordingly urged the Army and the Air Force to carry out sustained bombardment of terrorist enclaves with a view to flushing them out and restoring peace and stability to the communities. And the House of Representatives on Tuesday tasked security agencies on the need to put together a task force to check and repel attacks on the nation's airports and railways. This follows a motion of urgent national importance brought by Honorable Nolim Naji at plenary. This is following recent incidents of terrorist attacks on the Kaduna International Airport and the Rigasa end of the Abuja-Kaduna standard gauge within a space of 4 days. Emmanuel Ehijene, his report is presented from our studio.
These two incidents occurred within a space of 4 days, and federal lawmakers do not find the development acceptable. Honorable Nolim Naji is representing Nkanu East West Federal Constituency of Anambra State. Debating the motion, he said 12 persons were abducted by the terrorists that attacked the Kaduna International Airport on the 25th of March, with one person, a security personnel with Nigerian Airspace Management Agency (NAMA), reportedly killed. This is despite efforts by the military to repel the attack, noting that if something drastic is not done urgently, it may embolden terrorists.
We go up
Through the setting up of a task force to man the nation's airports and railways.
We must present a very formidable front as a house to ensure that this thing do not happen again. And for it not to happen, somebody, somewhere, must be held responsible. It couldn't have just been ordinary that these people drive through the city and come and challenge the security of our airports. For me, it is not only reprehensible, Honorable Speaker, sir, but a display of general ineptitude on the part of the security.
Now those who used to go to Kaduna by road became challenged because of kidnapping on Abuja-Kaduna road. And then thank God the railway came, the train came, Mr. Speaker, and they are being challenged today. Nigerian Railway Corporation had issued a statement that they are going to suspend the activities of the rail along that line. And Mr. Speaker, we were challenged some few days ago for us to have an infraction in the airport, which means that nowhere is safe. So, Mr. Speaker, if our roads are not safe, if our rails are not safe, and if our airport, which is the beginning point of our airways, are not safe, Mr. Speaker, then it calls for us to suspend everything political to begin to address the critical needs of Nigerians.
An amendment on need to include the incident of the bombing of a train carrying over 970 passengers, which was attacked near Rigasa Station, Kaduna, was also unanimously adopted. The motion was adopted when put to vote by Honorable Idris Wasey, Deputy Speaker of the House, at plenary.
Some victims of Monday's attack on an Abuja-Kaduna train have been admitted to the 44 Military Hospital and St. Gerald Hospital in Kaduna State. It is not yet clear how many persons were injured, but the attacked train had the capacity to convey more than 1,000 passengers. At least 7 people are feared dead, and many are believed to have been abducted by the terrorists, also known as bandits, who attacked the train. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai on Tuesday visited some of the victims receiving treatment at the hospitals. The governor was accompanied by the heads of security agencies stationed in the state. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has cancelled his 70th birthday celebration in honor of victims of attacks by terrorists on the Abuja.
Size 13th annual colloquium to kick off. The venue of the event, Eco Hotel and Suites, had dignitaries eagerly and patiently anticipating the party. The entrance of the celebrants set the mood for the show. The excitement was at fever pitch when suddenly Tinubu took to the podium and called of the well-attended event. His reasons was the Kaduna train attack, in which many people were reportedly killed and others injured.
Me to be here celebrating, dancing, and enjoying myself doesn't show enough concern of a statesman as a senior citizen of this country. I will urge the two clergies who are here present to continue to pray, and every one of you to go home and pray. This event should not be holding.
As the 2023 general election draws closer, concerns have been raised on the issues surrounding voter education, voter apathy, and the fact that the electorate are not being carried along on electoral processes. Our correspondent Jacinta Obiku takes a look at the issues.
Voter education has become necessary to ensure electorates are aware of their rights, the political system, civic responsibility, and their interests.
Voter's card, but I'll find a way to get it.
Actually, I don't know much about the online registration. The only process I know is just to go to the nearest local government.
Me that I'm talking, I haven't actually gotten mine, but it's something that I have plans of getting. So I don't really know. I'm not in on the details on how to get it.
I stay at Ikorodu, and I was told that there is no vacancy in Ikorodu. I should go to Yaba. That is the frustrating part of it.
But in the first place,
a political analyst, Godwin Etakubibu, is not blaming the electorate for not participating in the country's electoral process. He believes a majority of Nigerians feel betrayed by the performances of the elected and as a result, keep away from the polls.
You don't blame the people so much. One, poverty has reduced people's knowledge to nothing.
INEC's statutory duty to conduct voter and civic education and promote the knowledge of a sound democratic process. Etakibebu believes that INEC can only try but cannot do all.
So INEC will be trying, we shall be trying, the government shall be trying, the political parties, and by the time they will be making effort. But to say that, oh, only INEC, no. And let's keep telling the people that failure to participate.
And when we spend money to pick in the pens to carry out registration.
As Nigeria moves towards
and made available to newsmen in Kano, Kwankwaso said that he was no longer a member of the party with effect from March 29th. He attributed his exit from the party to some serious and irreconcilable differences. A founding father of the PDP in Adamawa State, Dr. Umaru Ardo, has defected to the Social Democratic Party SDP with his teaming supporters. Dr. Ardo is a four-time governorship aspirant and advisor to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on political matters. He has warned Nigerians against voting the PDP in 2023 presidential election to save the nation's nascent democracy from anti-democratic elements. Speaking at Jeddah, where he defected to SDP, he described the PDP as a lawless institution ruled by few party oligarchs.
It is on this background that the current Dr. Yochia Ayu-led PDP leadership is campaigning and asking Nigerians to elect the party to form governments of the country in the next general election. It is everybody's guess that the kind of government such a party will form will obviously be a reflection of the kind of the PDP that it is. If everybody will belong to such a party, I personally cannot, because it is against my values and principles to put up with dishonesty, with lawlessness, with discrimination, and with injustice.
Dr. Ardo was never active member of PDP because he's been in PDP always to distract PDP. somebody that will say something that lawlessness. Dr. Ardo has ever participated in any election, because any time election is coming, you will see Dr. Ardo mounting billboards here and there saying that he's contesting governorship election to go and buy form in order to go to court, not to participate in any primaries. Ardo is an agent of APC in PDP or other parties, because even before coming to APC, he has been doing that. So Dr. Ardo leaving PDP, we are wishing him well, but we PDP now, we have more peace.
The NSCDC has paraded 17 suspects accused of crude oil theft. Vandals with the trucks loaded with illegally refined petroleum products suspected to be diesel were arrested following a tip-off in the state. The PRO Emeka Peters made this known at the NSCDC state headquarters in Asaba, Delta State. Speaking to our correspondent Friday Akpamejoro, Emeka noted that 17 suspects accused of crude oil theft, vandals and 8 impounded trucks were displayed at the headquarters of the NSCDC in Asaba.
Parading 17 suspects and 18 trucks used for illegally refined petroleum products, most especially the AGO, automated gasoline oil, which is locally called diesel. Anyone who is vandalizing national assets or engaging in crude oil theft is an enemy to the federal government.
The suspects, who were mostly from the northern part of the country, said they were innocent because they were only sent by their boss to deliver the products to various destinations. The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, is working towards a master plan. This would make the commission and the 6 states in the region become self-sufficient and eliminate dependence on federal allocation by 2030. Speaking at a stakeholders meeting in Jalingo, the managing director of the commission, Mohammed Al-Khali, disclosed that all operational internally displaced camps in the region will be closed down by 2030.
Fluidity of the situation and the need to make adjustments as the needs arises.
By 2030, we wouldn't want to have any IDP